Don't miss.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back once more, a couple of days away from UFC 322, Islam versus JDM, and I believe that our opinions are divided right down the middle, at least when it comes to the main event. So let's hear what the fighters have to say, and in the end, I'll give my honest opinion as to who I'm leaning towards and who I think wins and why. So without any further ado, let's go right in with Tracy. Tracy.
Can I get your thoughts on the main event between Jack and Islam?
It's gonna be a good fight.
Historic banger of a fight. Islam is one of the most dominant fighters that we've seen, and we've all been waiting to see if he was going to move up. And now that he is and is having this super fight at MSG, it's incredible to be able to not just witness it, but be a part of it. But I do have Islam winning that fight.
In my opinion, I go with what he says. I think Islam has been fighting for a very long time, and the magnitude or the pressure of the event does not get to him anymore. I believe that the pressure, as it gets closer to time, perhaps it's starting to get to JDM a little bit more than it is for Islam. He's been in this for quite some time. Dominant performances over previous champions, and he's been in this spot before. Perhaps just the difference between weight classes, but I don't think that's going to affect too much of what's going to happen, or at least what the outcome shall be on Fight Night.
Right.
I really don't know, because if JDM comes in and he's able to establish his fakes like he did with Bilal and establish his range like he did with Bilal, I think he's going to be a really difficult fight for Makhachev. And then Makhachev adjusting to 170 might not be that easy. I know it's easier to go up in weight, but adjusting isn't that simple. So, yeah, I'm going to lean with JDM, but not by much.
You know, the narrative of weight classes for a reason or size matters. I've learned to not go for that one anymore, because Terence Crawford proved me absolutely wrong. Look where he came from, all the way to 168, and look at the performance that he put on. So weight is not going to be that much of an issue, I believe, in this fight, because it's only a 15-pound difference. Same with Crawford and Canelo, perhaps 2 pounds off, but it's not going to be that much of a difference. Perhaps the time that it took Terence Crawford to get acclimatized to that weight class was more, or at least he had more time compared to IslamMakhachev, but I believe that they're so professional in their training that they know exactly what it is that they need to do in order to get accustomed to that size. So I don't think that size will play a tremendous role in this fight.
I think Jack. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jack. I think Jack's going to get it done.
You think he gets it done inside 5 or goes to decision?
I don't know, man. It's a tough fight. And I say that, and then Islam could go out there and sub him. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to watching it. Hopefully, UFC lets me be front row after I get a win.
And I know
I'll keep going back and forth on the main event to see who wins. I think.
Listen, I completely understand going back and forth. That was me a couple of weeks ago. I was going back and forth, but I've become more solidified on my decision as to who I think will win. And guess what? I haven't been wrong yet. Guess what? Have I been wrong? No. I'm joking. I'm just a casual, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm solidified in who I think will win.
It all depends on how Islam looks first at 170. And if he comes out in heavy wrestle, there may be a proper edge Islam. But I feel like if we'll know from the first round how the fight will goes. I feel like JDM does get taken down in most of his fight, but he's great at getting back to his feet, and he puts on the pace straight away. And Islam has shown in the past like cardio issues as well. So I don't know. I keep going back and forth on who wins. I'm kind of like still 50-50.
I think that both fighters, they are great fighters, very strong. They are in their prime and will bring the best main event ever. I wish both of them good luck. And
before anything else, let's just appreciate how good Valentina is looking for 37. She looks well reserved. She hasn't taken much damage. She looks like she absolutely takes care of herself. Even if we look at Zhang Weili, she also looks very good for the age that they're at. I did not know that they were 37 and 36, just 1 year apart. I honestly thought that they were a bit younger than what they are, but guess what? They looked apart, and they still have the gas tank in them. Honestly, with that event, or at least the co-main event, I am still divided. I don't know who I'm going to go for. They both present a tremendous amount of threats for one another, so I don't know. But if I were to pick, I would say that I'm leaning towards Valentina. Mark my words, we're going to come back to this video and see if I was correct. So for the co-main event, ladies and gentlemen, bet the house on Valentina from a casual. So take it how you may.
Very hope everyone will be happy with their performance.
Very interesting fight. I want to do my job the best way possible, so I can have the privilege to watch it and to see what's gonna happen.
Jack de la Magdalena gana por decisión unánime o finaliza su pelea.
Yo no creo que Jack gana la pelea por decisión o finalización. Yo creo que la presión de Islam será demasiada para Jack. Islam someterá a Jack. How's that Spanish, boys? Someone's been practicing. Not me, though. Not me.
Jack de la Magdalena wins by unanimous decision, or he finishes the fight.
As a fan of the sport, I'm super pumped as far as analyzing it and what's going on. Of course, it's a little obvious. You got a grappler versus striker. It's really just about whether or not who can impose their will on the fight, right? Is Islam going to be able to control it and get things on the ground and hold JDM down, or will JDM be able to keep it on the feet and outstrike him? We'll see. I think that both guys are some of the, couple of the best guys in the world, so it'll be fun.
I said it before, I'm biased because I'm obviously Perth dude. However, even if I wasn't, I still pick Jack. I think that he's going to KO Islam as much as Islam. He's a phenomenal fighter too, but I think that welterweight's a big jump up, 15 pounds compared to lightweight. And Jack, he's great at that weight. You see him in the performance against Bilal. Bilal, heavy wrestler, couldn't really get him down, do much.
Once again, I refuse to fall for the weight difference, for the size difference narrative. I learned my lesson, and I shall not do that again. While we're on it, let's quickly analyze one aspect that we're failing to look at. Let's look at resumes. Of course, Jack has been fighting and beating strong welterweights, but all those welterweights have been inside that division specifically. He hasn't seen anything different, right? But now Islam has been fighting at an elite level for a couple of years now. Tremendous wins over former champions, top contenders. Resumes speak for themselves. Of course, we have the size difference narrative. We also have the narrative of JDM's elite striking. If he's able to keep the fight at a distance and keep it standing, he has a big edge over Islam. But I refuse to believe that, because once again, I heard that narrative before, and I was in favor of that narrative when Islam fought Dustin Poirier. We all believed that Dustin's striking was going to prove to be tremendously powerful for Islam, and he was not going to be able to do anything. But guess what? We all watched the same fight, and we saw how that first round went, right? Islam beat Dustin Poirier, and that was standing and on the ground. That was a 10-8 round. So I believe in the department of striking. I believe that Islam can hold his own.
And then Jack's a guy that can finish you even when he's tired. His conditioning's phenomenal. He's got a chin. He won't be, Islam might get him down a couple of times, but I don't think he'll be able to hold him down, in my opinion. And then I think as the fight goes on, he starts to slow down, and Jack still carries that power through in the 4th, 5th round and probably finishes him then.
Let me tell you something. I don't think Jack gets a finish. If Jack is to win, it will be by decision. But now my prediction is, this is how I think it's going to go. So don't take my word for it. This is just a casual analysis. And perhaps I could be an expert in hiding and by giving this opinion. And perhaps it could happen this way. And if it does, guess what? I'm an expert. But for now, before it happens, I am just a casual. Here's what I think is going to happen. Islam's experience, all right, his tremendous grappling, his ability to control grappling exchanges will prove to be too much for Jack de la Magdalena. Of course, his striking proves to be a tremendous feat for Islam, but guess what? Islam's experience, he's accustomed to slowing down pressure fighters, right? And once Islam puts it on him, once he brings that pressure, I believe that JDM will eventually break. My prediction is Islam by unanimous decision or late submission. Mark my words. Write it down in the comments if I get it right. And if I don't, you guys can absolutely have a go at me. I truly don't care, but I believe that's what's going to happen. And if it does happen in the manner that I predicted, guess what? I'm an expert, and UFC needs to contact me for fight breakdowns in the future. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. See you after the fight. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, Tony Franco, it's a wave.